watch that. Watch this.
Well, what do you mean by this? Oh, well, this is my channel. Welcome to it. And if you guys do really enjoy it, you can go in, you can click the share button. That really, really helps the algorithm. Go to Twitter, Facebook, Blogger. I don't even know what the crap that is. Reddit, all the stuff. So if you do love that, we also have a join button. You go in, you click a little join button. $4.99 a month. You get all the cool, awesome emojis. Now, enjoy the video. The question everyone wants to know the answer to. Is Bill and Ted 3 woke? Hello everyone, I am MechaRandom42, the one, the only, the original, your favorite YouTube consumer advocate, Harpy. Big Bill and Ted fan. Like, I grew up watching them. I even had a black and red Flying V guitar. That was one of my first learner guitars, actually. It was an Arbor. It was not a Gibson. But Keanu had the black and red Gibson Flying V back in the day. And wow, it got me into music a lot more than I already was. It made me really switch to wanting to be a guitar player back then. And all of this stuff really formed my life and a lot of the interests and values that I have. If it wasn't for movies like Bill and Ted, and I know what you're thinking, and I am going to review the movie, even though I'm not like a big movie review sort of channel usually. I tackle woke stuff, I tackle weird stuff, I tackle Star Trek and all that other stuff.
I like science.
No, stop. This is a Bill and Ted video. No Spock. Bill and Ted videos. No Spock sciencing. Ugh. Also, no Brie bombing, because we did the intro. Here's the thing with Bill and Ted 3. I have to review this as a critic. I have to review this as, and I did watch this 2 times. I sat through once, first watch, to kind of take some mental notes about what people might have issues with, right? What people might have a problem with. And the second time I watched it to enjoy it. The second time I watched it just to go with the flow of the journey of the Bill and Ted movie, because that's what they are. They're movies where you take a little bit of a journey. So there's some things. I'm not going to get into spoilers until the very, very, very end, and I will mark it as a spoiler section, so be advised of that. I'm trying to not spoil anything, so if I stutter or stammer or lose my train of thought or have to edit or something, that's only because I'm trying not to spoil anything for you until we get to the very end of the spoiler section. Bill and Ted 3 was... I've been researching this one. I have been researching this one for the better part of a year. So I was right. I was absolutely 100% right. Tom from Midnight's Edge, who got the interview with Ed Solomon, screenwriter, you know, the guy who created the characters, or one of the guys who created them anyway, confirmed that yes, it was a 10-year-old script, 11-year-old script now. And I've done videos on that, and I'll link them, boom, right there. We have confirmation that's an old script. It's pre-woke Hollywood. It's before everybody went a little funny in the head, you know, and obsessed with, you know who, the guy in the White House, that guy, the orange one. Before everybody got obsessed with that, before everybody got obsessed with separating everybody by label and category, this was 100% before that. And there is going to be one moment in this movie where people are going to, if they're absolutely looking for it, and it's towards the end, and I'll tell you that, if you're absolutely looking for this movie to be woke, there's one little moment that I think you're not going to like. But if you're looking at this movie from the lens of this was 10 years ago, and if you look at this movie without spoiling anything, we know Bill and Ted's children are now daughters in this one. They weren't specific in the original. It works so well. Oh my God. You know what? I might have been a little bit wrong about representation on screen. I have never felt more represented on screen than by Billy and Thea in this movie. I know what you're thinking. But Mecha, you don't like people with labels. And yeah, and it wasn't because of that. It was because of their interests. These 2 girls are music geeks. I know. You got me as a music geek on board, like, these people, these 2. Not only that, these girls adore Bill and Ted. They have never, in this movie, never do I get the impression that they're talking down to them because they're, oh, you're just a white dude. That is nowhere in this movie. Nowhere in this movie are they talking down to them because they're all white dudes. No, they get a little crap here and there because they're Bill and Ted, because they're kind of like giant puppy dogs, aren't they? They're not the ones who are going to be solving the physics puzzles of the universe. They're not going to be those people. They're not going to be...
What are they? Why are they? What do they mean?
They're not going to be, and I know they're supposed to find the song, write the song that unites humanity. They're not going to be the people who are going to, like, crack the code. They're going to be the people who accidentally stumble into it. And I'm not spoiling anything on this, I don't think. If I do, you're just going to have to yell at me, but... No, this is not going to be woke, except for one little instance that I do have an issue with, and I'll get into that in the spoiler section, and I'll say that right off bat, so if you don't want any other spoilers other than where I think it went a little like, oh, they should have just tweaked it, rewritten that, I'll put that at the very end of this. So there's one instance of that. Everything else was all the female characters having faith in Bill and Ted. For the most part, most of them, the family. This is a daddy-daughter family love letter. These are the best dads I have seen in film, and you know what they do to dads. You know what they do to father figures. What they do to Han Solo in The Force Awakens. They made him a deadbeat dad where he just ran off and did whatever he was doing with, and then he even lost the Millennium Falcon, right? Not the case here. These girls adore their fathers. They are the only ones supporting of them, even if we know the plot of the movie, right? Okay, so they get to this point in life, and this is not spoiling if you've seen any of the trailers. They get to the point in their life where this age, and they still haven't written the song, right? And then something goes amiss, and they have to fix it, right? And that's the plot of this movie. If Bill and Ted's children were boys, it would be so much of the same rehash. Oh, we've already seen this, and these guys are just carbon. No, I love the fact, and I'm not just saying that because I am a girl, and you know me in representation and this and that. I'm not saying that because they are girls. I'm saying that because we finally have music geeks that are represented on screen that love a little bit of everything because of the musicality of it. And that was one of the things I always loved about Bill and Ted anyway. That was one of the things that I always loved, because, you know, you could get all these old composers and old figures of political history and world leaders and people for their book report, or their history report, way back when. It was a book report of history. I'm misspeaking because I'm excited. I'm sorry. You guys are going to have to get me on that one again. You can get these type of people who, this is not a malicious movie. This isn't a get back at old white dudes movie. Finally, for a change. So no, it's not woke. No, it's not woke. I've been rambling for 8 minutes. No, it's not woke. 100% no, it's not woke. It is, they introduce new characters. We have so many of the same characters. And it's not just a bunch of references and member berries. Every character that's in this, every reference that's in this is in there for a reason. And you guys know that Death is back from the trailers, so that's not going to be a spoiler. He's in there for, it's not just a, hey, remember Death, hey, remember this, hey, remember that. Yeah, maybe like the father, maybe Ted's father a little bit is a bit of a member berry character, but he still has something to do there. Oh, but no, this is handled so well, so respectfully. Except for one little thing that I do have an issue with. Now, okay, so we've got new characters. Did I like the new characters? For the most part, yeah. I really liked how quick we got to a lot of the solutions of a lot of this too. It was very fun. It was very much, yeah, it does feel like it was a movie that was written 10 years ago, sort of movie. This starts out like Cobra Kai though. We focus on our main characters, and then we learn, oh, here's the daughters, and you see it in the trailer, so I'm not gonna like spoil it with specific incidents here, but oh, they actually really, really are supportive. That's the big thing. It is not just a bunch of people talking down because the old white dude thing, which I hate. You guys know how much I hate that. Now, I guess I gotta get into the spoilers real quick. I don't think I'm gonna spoil everything. I really don't. I gotta get into a couple of them. So turn off the video now. Yes, it's not gonna be woke unless you're absolutely, absolutely looking for it to be woke, and then you're gonna have like one little issue with it. If you want to know what that issue is, stay here and then turn off after. The one issue that I have is how they actually got the song made. This is the one. This is the stickler. This is the stickler. And this is gonna be the thing that people are like, oh man, it's weird. No, it's not, because it's just the way it's worded and not how it plays out. So once they finally, that's the thing, they got to go throughout time, and here's spoilers. They got to go throughout time, which we already saw in the trailer, to pick up like all the musicians to put the band there. And once they finally get the song and they finally get the band, as you know in the trailers, Bill and Ted had to go all and find their other versions of themselves, because they're like, oh, we'll just go to the future and take the song from ourselves, right? So once they finally have the song, and I'm not telling you how they get it, once they finally have it, they realize that the daughters are kind of the key, that they couldn't have had it until they had those two girls. Now, my problem with this is how they worded it, because what happens to this? Well, basically, they end up being the producers of the song. They end up being the conductors and the coordinators, and the song is kind of written in the universe throughout history, and that's what I like about this. But they did not do a very good job of just kind of stating that no, the song comes from everybody in time and space, and that's what I really wish. I wish they would have said, no, it has to be this resonance, and that's what's going to fix it, and that's why we need all of this, and that's why we need all these pieces together. So I don't like that it's kind of stated, and I can't remember the exact wording of how they stated this, but yeah, we just needed you. We just needed you, and it's kind of implying that they're writing the song, but they're not. And I think they even are saying that, the girls are writing the song. That is going to be the thing that I think a lot of people are going to have issue with until they actually see how it plays out in the movie, because how it plays out in the movie is not how it's worded. And that's a big problem for me as a moviegoer who has to sit there and critique this and find something negative to say about this, because I think some fans might have an issue with this. I think some fans might have an issue with, oh, and then they still had the girls. But I think that the fact that if you see the second film, how the princesses and death play into there in the band, then it makes so much sense that everything that came from, Bill and Ted and Joanna and Elizabeth to get Billy and Thea now, I think it really, and I'm not just saying this because I enjoyed the movie and I liked the characters. I'm saying that because it makes sense musically, and it makes sense thematically of the story, and it's kind of where that was going. It was kind of a natural progression anyway. So if people are really, really looking for that as a complaint, then I can see why people would have a complaint about that. Now, getting into the other spoilers. So if that's all you want to hear, turn off the video. Now the rest of the spoilers. Before, actually, I'll do the spoilers after. Don't turn it off yet. My score of this film is a very solid 8 out of 10. And I'm only knocking off a couple of points just because of I did not like a couple of the wording of that. And there's a couple instances where the cinematography and the day filters, the color timing, all of those things, it just felt a little too dark in some places. It didn't seem bright and happy and cheery in enough places where it could have been, and we know that they're like traveling all throughout time again. I'm trying not to spoil too much. So yeah, 8 out of 10, because I do have a few issues with it, but overall, I really enjoyed it. I really liked what they did with it. It was a very good conclusion to these films. And like I said, I watched it twice, once as a critic and once to enjoy it. And I don't ever watch anything again. So if I'm watching it twice to enjoy it, just to like this film, no, it's a good movie. If you like the Bill and Ted movies, I think you're going to like this. And no, it does not scream of woke, except for that one little faux pas, that one little misstep. I don't think that's going to ruin anybody's enjoyment of it. Now, into the full spoilers. Now turn off the video. All right. So, they have to travel throughout time, and the girls steal I guess they steal the time machine from. We've got, instead of Rufus, Instead of Rufus, we have Kelly, which is named after his daughter, Kelly Carlin, which I do like. I appreciate that. She's played by Kristen Shaw, and she is her daddy's daughter. Every time you see a daddy-daughter pair in this film, it is touching and sweet, and she is so rooting. So okay, her mother is like the new leader, the wife of Rufus, and the mother and the rest of the people are like, oh, well, we need to kill Bill and Ted because they're not going to solve anything because this prophecy was wrong and Rufus's thing was wrong. But Kristen Shaw's character is like, nah, my dad was right. So there's even some moments, and you do see it in the trailer. So spoilers, I know we're already in the spoiler section. You see them in hell. And there's a good reason. And it really plays out really funny because Kristen Shaw's on the phone with her mother from hell after everybody gets wiped out, right? And you see Billy and Thea there, and you see, it's pretty much everybody there. She says, see, they're dead now. Did that save everything? No, because they're basically, the whole fabric of space and time is kind of collapsing in on itself, and they have to sprinkle, they have to basically sprinkle instruments throughout history, like once they're there doing the song. The girls are basically these music geek sort of producer types who get everybody like Mozart and Louis Armstrong and Jimi Hendrix, all these people to come together, and a few more people too, to play everything at the same time, and they're kind of there to coordinate. They're kind of there as the conductors, as the guides, and not as the songwriters. Because the song, everybody has a little piece of the song. They just had to go and find it and pluck it and put it together. That's not writing the song, that's producing. So that's my beef with this, is that the music geek stuff in me says, no, they're not writing anything. You're telling Death to play, hey, go play this riff from this. Oh, and the Death stuff. Don't get me started on how fun the Death stuff is. I loved him in Bogus Journey. He was my favorite character. William Sadler, who plays Death, apparently there's this old sketch from an old sketch show from like the mid-'80s where he was doing the exact character with the same accent, and it's so fun. Definitely look that up on YouTube. If I can find it, I'll link it up here. But it is so hilarious. All of the moments with Death, and he's in it for a decent chunk. It just feels like there's not enough time with the new characters to give us more time with the old ones, right? Because like they had to, it's a pretty good balance, but I would have liked Death to have been in the movie from front to back instead of like a little bit later on. But they do have to kind of get him and convince him to go back and join the band. It's very much like the Universal Monster Bash pinball table. You have to go around and collect all the people. So I did like that aspect too. It's a fun movie. It's a good Bill and Ted movie. If you liked Bogus Journey, and I think I prefer Bogus Journey, and I know that's gonna get me a lot of people going like, Ree, you like Bogus Journey a little bit. I just a little more. I prefer it a little bit more because Death was so much fun. And you've got the arena Star Trek references, which I love, and you got Station. Station was not in this that I can remember. I was looking for him. I didn't see him, but it's really fun. Oh, there's this other little bit where they're going to couples therapy. Just so many Bill and Ted-isms. It's funny. It's fun. It's uplifting. It made me teary the first time I watched this movie too. It made me kind of tear up, and not in a bad way, but just in it's a very heartwarming. A lot of ways. It's very heartwarming. I wanted something heartwarming. I don't want to see any more of these movies telling me how, if you're an old white dude, you're the problem or you're bad. And see, with Bill and Ted, they didn't do that because of any of that. They just were always kind of slackers. They were always kind of, they were the ones who needed a guy sent back in time in a phone booth so that they could pass their history test, and so that they could play the Battle of the Bands, and they needed a little bit of a nudge, right? So this isn't going against character. This isn't like, all of a sudden they're talking no, it's not even any of that. It's just kind of, this is a natural progression. It really feels like a natural progression of these characters. Yes, this is the Cobra Kai of all of our sequels and movies, absolutely. I recommend this one. It is very fun. I've rambled long enough on this one. Do I recommend seeing it? Yeah. If you can wait, there's nothing wrong with waiting. It's going to be on video on demand. I'm dropping this review the second I can because we're supposed to be doing this roundtable with Midnight's Edge, so I got to see it a couple days early. And yeah, I recommend this movie. I think if you're a fan of Bill and Ted and tired of the tired of seeing all of our heroes destroyed, and you want someone to root for, and you want something that's going to have a happy ending. This is going to, and I have spoilers, this is going to be that. And now I'm going to get people in my comments saying, you spent spoiler too many times, thumbs down. I know. Tell me what you guys think in the comment section below. Did you see it? Are you going to go see this? Did you just want to wait until YouTubers said it's not woke? I promise it's not that same Hollywood woke stuff. It's an old script. We know for a fact it's an old script. These are people, they didn't need to make this. This is not a cash grab. Hollywood wanted nothing to do with this. This is coming out of their own pockets. It's a passion project for these people. It's not a woke mess. It's not a woke nightmare, I promise. I am MechaRandom42, and I'll see you guys on the next video, live stream, or wherever, and
please like the video if you liked it. If you didn't like it, keep your comments to yourself.
You can comment bad stuff all you want. It's just, be prepared to get a clap back if you do. I'll see you guys later. Bye. Thanks for watching. If you liked it, make sure to hit that like button, and if you want to see more, don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next video. Bye!
Open your mind.